Here is Goremaw. Red worm. I think this is Goremaw. Isn't this Goremaw? No, Goremaw's a dragon. I don't know who this is. This is big worm thing from purple worm from Bones 3 Kickstarter. So showing the same technique, we're gonna come through, and you'll see, even though I'm sputtering some alcohol out of my brush here, this is the problem, incidentally, with a side load airbrush, and why you should not buy one. When they start sputtering stuff out of the little nooks and crannies that are very hard to clean, and whether that's alcohol or water or a paint that you had in there a minute ago, whatever it is, can be pretty detrimental. Eventually you start to learn to hear it and feel it start to kick out, but still not good. So with this, you'll notice I'm angling this pretty heavily. I want those stark contrast shadows where the airbrush isn't able to hit. So from down there, you know, it's going to look very dark as you're fading up in there. The other thing I'm going to be doing here is rotating this, so not all of it is hit like that. But as I layer, you'll see it'll just fade up underneath there. So there should be like total shadows under here, right? So you'll notice I'm just going to hit a little bit of paint in these darker areas. Again, we're going to use color for a lot of the shadow. This is just going to pick up recesses and nooks and crannies on the model. So we want to do that. We want to make sure we're doing it well. Okay, then we're going to come through, and we want these to be a little shiny. So highlights, right? Highlight basically amounts to lots of paint. And I want that to come... Oh, I gotta hold that more still than that, don't I? There you go. Sorry about the shakes. So where you put these highlights is not too important. I'm trying to put them from angles you guys can see from how she's holding that brush. There we go. Doing pretty good. Same thing, we really want the head area to be pretty heavily painted up, right? We want to see all that. We want the eye drug there. And I want these spikes kind of done a little heavier than the more recesses. So I'm just going to drag along there. If you're concerned you're not very good with an airbrush, you can see how unsteady my hand is. Should not let that stop you. There we go. Boom. One of the things we had talked about doing here in our house is actually stopping at this point on a lot of figures for villains and monsters, because it could be an interesting idea to do the bad guys all in black and white and just have the players in color. And, you know, that wouldn't be a terrible plan, I think. This would not look bad, I think, on the table right like that. What do you think, Christy?
Yeah, I think that's good.
If my DM put that on the table in black and white, that'd be okay. So we'll come back to that with, oops, get my brush marks out, my glove marks next.